back here as we get ready for the second game of our doubleheader as the Voorhees Tigers take on the Bruins of Piedmont International University. I'm Clarence Jones along with Derek Richmond, and of course, unfortunately, the Lady Tigers could not pull it out in their first game as they lost to Clinton College 70-58. But right now, these Tigers right now are 3-1 on the 5-game homestand. Of course, they coming off of a victory, or you wouldn't know it by the way how Coach Mitchell was just going off there on the post game. But here is another opportunity to notch their 4th win of the regular season. What do you see in this game?
Well, I can tell you something, Coach Howard and his man cannot afford to cough up the ball. The VC Tigers have 2 players in the top 10 for steals. Ashton Pierce, ranking number 6, and Alex Brooke, ranking 4th. So as much as plays the VC Tigers offense and defense, Coach Howard has to control their man and not give up the big lead early in the start, because I know the Coach Mitchell and his man like to push the break fast in the beginning of the quarter.
Now, this is the first game of the regular season for Piedmont, for the Bruins, as they had 2 other scrimmage games. So this is officially their first regular season game of the 2019-2020 season. Meanwhile, Voorhees already 4 games deep into the regular season right now. So sit back and relax. We have the second game of our doubleheader coming up between the Tigers and the Bruins. So stay right there on our VC Tiger Sports YouTube page.
Wearing 4, Curtis Coleman Jr. Wearing number 5, China Jones. Wearing number 13, Jacob Cook. And wearing number 40, Melanie Spencer. The Bruins are coached by Josh Howard and assisted by Torres Young Cannon and Stephen Niven. And now, your Voorhees College Tigers. And running forward from Hattiesburg, Mississippi, wearing number 3, Ashton Pierce. And the other forward from Columbia, South Carolina, wearing number 13, Molly Timmons. At center from Russellville, Alabama, wearing number 3, Adonis Bailey. At one guard from Cobb County, Georgia, wearing number 10, Jaden Diamond. And at the other guard, Mr. Voorhees College from Sparta, Georgia, wearing number 1, Alex Brooks. The Tigers are coached by Derek Mitchell and assisted by Jamari Albergati, Jalen Hill, and Stacey Maxburn.
All right, so that was a look at the starting lineups. Voorhees Tigers comes in with the royal blue jerseys on with the white numerals and white lettering, white trim. Meanwhile, the road whites for Piedmont. Bruins and Tigers on the way, as that was a quick jump up, and they'll say Piedmont ball. So as we started off, Piedmont with possession, Bruins. So in a doubleheader battle between Tigers and different kinds of bears, if you want to say, Golden Bears, and now the Bruins. As that shot put up no good, back come the Tigers looking to run. Quick two there by Malik Timmons. So BC starts the scoring out. Timmons with his first 2 points of the afternoon. Tigers out to a quick 2-0 lead. A shot put up there, no good. Back come the Tigers. Pulling is Brooks. Alex Brooks.
Too much room for Alex Brooks to spade that three, and he got him with the pump fake.
Alex Brooks, it's the first Tiger three-pointer of the afternoon. And it's quickly a 5-0 lead for Voorhees. Here's the shot. Trying to draw the foul with that little Reggie Miller kick out. Brooks pulling again. Nope. Man-to-man defense shown here by the Tigers early on, and all the way to the hoop. And that's Coleman Jr. with the deuce. So Coleman Jr., the first 2 points for Piedmont. Here's Brooks, already with a three-pointer. Timmons. Brooks thought about a three. 5 seconds left on the shot clock. There's a shot. Oh, way off there by Ashton. So Pierce unable to hit. Ball goes out of bounds. Bruins still with possession.
Number 2, Oliver, and for the Tigers, 22, Williams.
As Kendall Oliver checks in for the first time for Piedmont. Bruins with possession. This is Glenn. Tamir Glenn gives it off. Three-pointer from the wing side, and it's good there for Curtis Coleman Jr. So Curtis with the 3 points. And Piedmont has tied it at 5. As the ball goes out of bounds. Tigers will have possession. So the Tigers with possession. And the three-pointer there, no good, as we'll have a whistle. And we'll come away to the other end. Timmons picks up his first and team's first. So back come the Bruins. And we'll have a blocking foul called against Ashton Pierce.
And all the way from up here, you can hear Coach Mitchell, as the Bruins is pushing on the ball, you can hear Coach Mitchell say, take the charge, take the charge. But unfortunately, the Ashton Pierce was fouled for a blocking foul.
Yeah. Yeah, he was loud and clear with his instructions. But probably Ashton Pierce, his foot or his back feet was on the line, that little circle line that's in the lane. So that's why they call it the blocking foul. But I tell you, if he was outside, if he was just a few inches outside, then that would have been definitely a charge. So at the line shooting is Jacob Cook, number 13. Cook misses the second. 6-5, Tigers down by 1 to the Bruins. Pierce for the deuce. As we'll have a traveling violation call against the Tigers.
And unlike the women's game, the crowd will need to be very loud for this game against the men's.
Trying to pass it off there for as Bryce Williams checks in. Here's Timmons, spin move on the baseline, no good. Gets his own rebound. Timmons back up again, over 2 Bruins, can't hit. And Cook comes away with the rebound. Channel defense from the Tigers bench across the lane, losing the ball, but Cook able to come up with it. No good. Oliver kicks it out, driving to the basket, no good. Goes Coleman Jr. Coleman Jr. already with a 3-pointer. Here's Timmons. That's an offensive foul. So Timmons is called for the offensive foul. And that is Malik's second personal. Team's third. Taiwan Bowie checks in for the first time. And also Dominique Mixon and Terrell Wyndham. And there goes a steal, a near steal there by Wyndham. Back come the Bruins. Here's Coleman Jr. So Coleman Jr., another field goal, giving him 5 points, and it's an 8-7 Bruin lead. Here's Mixon. Mixon at the top of the circle. Coming up on 10 seconds left on the shot clock. Bailey being double teamed. Bailey has the ball knocked out of his hands with 5 seconds left on the shot clock. Here's a steal by the Bruins. As we'll have a foul coming the other way. DeMonte DeMore, who also checked in for the first time, is called for the foul.
And nice defense by Kendall Olivier against the BC Tigers made it very hard for Adonis Bailey to go with a hook shot.
So DeMore picks up his first personal, team's fourth. Bruins so far, no team fouls. And a shot there by Coleman Jr., no good. Back come the Tigers. Almost an errant pass, but good save there by Bailey to keep the possession alive. Out of the corner, 3-pointer, yes! DeMore for 3. And it is now Tigers up. Bruins, as we're under the 15-minute mark, Bruins down to the Tigers for the second time today. In the lane, little traffic there. And that's an offensive foul. So Curtis Coleman called for the push. So that is his first, team's first. Spence comes in for the first time for the Bruins. Oh, excuse me, he's back in as he was one of the starters. Under 14 and a half to go in the first half. Mixon, into the corner it goes. Bowie, as look like it will be on Kendall Oliver. That is his first, team second. Morris checks in for the first time, number 15. Here's a 3-point shot on the way, and it's good! Wyndham for the 3. And it's a 13-8 lead and a turnover.
And Terrell Wyndham actually led the team in points last game. Looking to see if he gets back in rhythm.
So back come the Tigers. Here's Bowie. Give it up to Bailey. Bailey. Oh, had his big man in skates, and Bailey creating some room with the easy deuce.
And I already saw Dennis Bailey talking a little chatter against number 2 for the
Bailey almost comes up with the steal. So it still remains Bruin ball. Excuse me. They called a foul on the Bruins. And it was on Morris. So Malik Morris called for his first foul. His first, team's third, as Bowie unable to hit. Loose ball, picked up and put in by Demore. So Demore with the deuce, and it's a 17-8 Tiger lead over the Bruins. Back it in down low, and the shot is missed up close by Spence. Back come the Tigers. This is Mixon. Loses the ball as he was going into the lane and stepped out of bounds. Looked like it was a Tiger trying to go for the loose ball. Demore is called for being out. Carlos Nuttree checks in for the first time for the Tigers. Number 20. As we have a foul call.
And already with 12 minutes, the BC Tigers are taking a commanding control of the game, leading by 9 points.
Mixon picks up his first foul, and a little trap in the backcourt. Up to the front court it goes. Shot, and a tough shot, and it goes in for Kendall Oliver. So Oliver, his first field goal, and it's 17-10. Wyndham trying to answer right back, no good. So back as the Tigers, a little trap in the backcourt once again. Three-pointer from the wing, no good. Mixon comes away with it, up the court it goes. This is Wyndham. Wyndham will wait for the Tigers. It's Bailey, and Bailey is hit hard. Bailey looked like he was about to rock-a-bye baby coming down the lane with that, bringing it back.
And out back at the Tigers, then you would have definitely heard the crowd go wild.
Right. Kendall Oliver is called for the foul. That is his first. Team's fourth. Adonis misses the first. Jaden Diamond, number 10, checks back in. Also back into the ball game, number 13, Cook for the Bruins. Here's Morris, gives it up out of the corner for 3, air ball. Chasing down the ball, loose ball picked up by the Bruins with another opportunity. Driving the baseline is a nice pass down low, Malik Morris.
A nice ball moving on the previous possession by the Bruins.
Here are the Tigers right now, Nuttree. And that's a traveling violation called against Diamond.
And from our previous game, we did see a lot of walk-ins and travels. Hopefully we did not see that tonight against the Piedmont Bruins.
Like I said, Coach Mitchell worked them out this week, so they should be good to go. As we have a timeout on the court, 11 minutes and 35 seconds remaining in the first half. Voorhees up 18-12 over Piedmont. Clarence Jones along with Derek Richmond. This is our second game of the doubleheader. And just a reminder, coming up on Tuesday, we'll have Lady Tiger action back here at the Tigers Den. That's coming up on November the 12th. And they will play the second game of the home-and-home series against Middle Georgia State. All right, coming out of the timeout. Tigers on top, 18-12. 11 minutes and 11 minutes and 30 seconds and counting. Here the Bruins. Nice defense. Oh, no look pass down low inside. And Jacob Cook with the 2. So right now it is a 4-point Tiger lead at 18-14. Diamond once again is called for steps. So that is the second time that Diamond was called for the traveling violation. So Bruins will have possession. 18-14. Another nice pass inside from off. Okay, coming back here is Wyndham. Can't hit.
What a great move by Wyndham, but unable to hit that shot.
Here's the shot in the lane. It doesn't fall for Cook. Tigers with possession. Here's Pierce over to Wyndham. Man-to-man defense for the Bruins. Wyndham, open lane, can't hit.
Second time with too hard against the backboard.
Under 10.5 to go in the first half. Here the Bruins, as they set the screen. Here's the shot, no good. Bruins with another opportunity on with the rebound, Spence. Coming up on 10 seconds left on the shot clock, as we'll have a foul called against the Bruins. So the Tigers will have possession. Curtis Coleman Jr. is called for his second personal, and that is the team's 5th foul. So under the 10-minute mark and counting. Pierce, as it's stolen. Here, the bucket and the foul. So count the basket, and the Bruins.
One thing I can say from this game is getting a very defensive game. Not a lot of scoring in the first few minutes of the first half, but.
So Weston, Hasim Weston with the deuce, but cannot complete the three-point play. Here's the basket down low for Pierce.
Nice dish off by Diamond. You know, the BC Tigers struggle early on in the season racking up assists, and last previous game they actually exceeded the amount of assists. I'm looking to see that for tonight. Actually, correction, this afternoon against the Piedmont Bruins.
Diamond picks up his second personal foul, and that is the team's 7th. At the line shooting, the 1-and-1 is Malik Morris. But one thing about the Tigers, Derek, is early on, especially in each ball game, except for that loss a week ago, Tigers always come out with some big-time fireworks. But the thing about it, you got to maintain it throughout the game. Here's Nuttree. Tough shot in the lane and good. So Carlos gets his first bucket of the afternoon, and down the lane goes Morris. Morris with his second field goal. And it's now a 22-18 Tiger lead.
What I'm seeing from the Tigers, they like to go to screen and then drive right down the free throw line for a quick, easy deuce. And
Pierce outside the three-point line, and we'll have a blocking foul. And Malik Morris looking at the referee like, are you kidding me? No, that cannot be me. Yes, it is you. So 8 minutes and 31 seconds to go in the first half. 22-18 is our score. Tigers up over the Bruins. This is the Bruins' first game of the regular season, as we'll have hand that swipe at the hand of Ashton Pierce. So Coleman Jr. picks up his 3rd foul, and team foul number 7. So shooting the 1-and-1 is Ashton Pierce. And one thing about Ashton, Derek, is Ashton will have nights where he is unbelievable in the scoring. And then there's all those other nights where not necessarily doing it in the points, but he's doing it in other places as well, like defense, timely rebounding, and also just being a defensive pest to the opposing team.
Well, currently he's the assist leader for the VC Tigers. So simple, everything you can do except scoring, he's doing it.
And don't get me wrong, he can score now when he wants to. He can score. 23-18, Tigers on top, coming up on 8 minutes remaining in the first half. Down to 10 seconds left on the shot clock. Here's Glenn. Glenn, one-on-one with Alex Brooks, unable to hit. Ball knocked around, Bruins with another chance, and they convert for Weston. So that is his 2nd field goal, and the lead is down to 3 for the Tigers at 23-20. Coming up on 7.5 to go in the first half. Timmons back into the ball game. Here's Bryce across the lane, kicks it out. It's Mixon. Less than 10 seconds left on the shot clock. Pierce backing in down low. Pierce puts up the shot, and good. And I just told you,
He can score whenever he wants.
he can score whenever he wants to. Nice pass inside, and the 2-point basket is there for Spence. So Spence with his first 2 points of the afternoon, and it's down to a 3-point Tiger lead at 25-22, under 7 minutes to go in the first half. Here's Brooks. Brooks leaves his man behind, counted and one. So Alex Brooks, that's a good basket there. And Alex he's a quick guard. That's one thing I think what people doesn't really think about. When they think about Alex Brooks, you're always thinking about the 3-pointers. I mean, he's hit over 1,000 in his career as a Voorhees Tiger. But one thing he can do, he's like a slashing guard. He can get to the bucket, and if it's not an and one, he's shooting 2 free throws or he's shooting the 1-and-1. So timeout on the court. 6 minutes, 42 seconds to go. 27 for the Tigers, 22 for the Piedmont Bruins. Make sure that you tune in next week as we'll have more action, but we'll let you know. But right now, we'll leave it here for Derek.
Well, what I'm liking from the VC Tigers, they're pushing the pace. I mean, they did start off with a good lead, but the Bruins was able to get back in sync on offense and cut it to 5. One thing I'm not really seeing from the VC Tigers is not drawing as much fouls as they used to last previous game.
Well, I'm pretty sure that we still have a lot of time left in this first half, and we have all of the second half. So I'm pretty sure, and probably one of the adjustments for the second half, I'm pretty sure Coach Mitchell is going to let his team know, like, look, they have some guards that can slash to the basket, okay? And not only that, they have some athletic big men down low. So, honestly speaking, Voorhees has controlled this game, although score-wise, Piedmont is still very much into this ball game, 27-22. But it just feels like the Tigers are really establishing themselves here in this game. Alex Brooks, coming out of the timeout, will try to complete the 3-point basket, complete three-point play, and he does. 28-22, Voorhees on top of Piedmont. Coming up on 6.5 to go, and that's an errant pass as well over the head of Spence.
A little miscommunication for an easy deuce. Now to cut the lead.
So instead, Tigers trying to build up on this 28-22 lead. Bryce backs in, down low. Whoa, what a block there by Spence. Coming back out of the break. And they'll slow it up. Spence will take the three in front of Pierce's face. No good. Brooks comes away with the boards. Brooks, stop ball. They don't. Timmons, three-pointer. Got it.
A nice way for the VC Tigers to be patient with their shot attempts.
So Timmons with a three-pointer and a steal. Back comes Timmons and the deuce.
And
So
great
now,
play by Alex Brooks. He's showing you why he's ranked 4th in steals and dish it off for the easy deuce to increase the lead by 11.
timeout Piedmont, and they needed that timeout because right now things was about to get out of hand because Voorhees going on a nice run here. I mean, at one point in time, it was 27-22. Then a blink of an eye, 6 points later, it is now an 11-point Tiger lead. So as I mentioned before, although the Tigers is not out to a 20-point lead, but it sure feels like that the way how the Tigers are playing right now.
Yeah, the way they're pushing up the ball down court and getting those tough baskets down low, not to mention them and ones.
Now, one thing you cannot discredit the Bruins' effort in trying to do something. They're trying to break in on this 11-point lead. As ball goes out of bounds, Bruins will have possession. Still 19 seconds left on the shot clock. As we'll have a traveling violation called against the Bruins. That looked like I was on Weston. Coming up on 5:15 remaining in the first half. 33 for the Tigers, 22 for the Piedmont Bruins. Tigers looking to improve their record to 4-1 as Timmons cannot hit the three. Meanwhile, this is Piedmont's first game of the regular season, and a nice move going to the basket for Spence. That is his second field goal, 4 points. Brooks amongst the trees of Bruins.
The foul is on the Bruins, number 3.
So the foul is called
That's his first, team's 9th.
on the Bruins.
And at the line, shooting 2 is number 1.
So Alex Brooks
Brooks.
go to the line and shoot 2.
So Clarence, what do you see from the VC Tigers so far in this first half?
Well, good energy, that's number 1. The man that's on the line right now, Alex Brooks, has putting in a nice first half, although that wasn't a nice free throw shot right there as they draw barely iron. But one thing for the Tigers is the points being distributed amongst the different Tigers. You already had about 7-8 different Tigers already scoring. So nice little balance there. And then right here, defense. Turning up the defense. 34-24, as we'll have an offensive foul. And as I just spoke about the defense forcing the charge. Malik Morris picks up his 3rd foul and team's 10th. So the next foul by the Bruins is double bonus time. Under 4.5 minutes to go in this first half. 34-24. And the lead is increased to 12 as the Diamond.
What a nice move by Diamond. A little step back, a little crossover, and he gets the steal right here.
And it's stolen right back. Oh, nice dribbling there by Glenn. Nearly stole. Yes! Diamond with the good defense, knocking the ball out of the hands of a Bruin and forcing the turnover. Under 4 minutes to go in this first half. Straightaway three-pointer for Bowie, no good. Diamond on with the rebound. Wyndham will try his hand at for 3, no good. Skying up for the rebound and another opportunity for the Tigers. Good play there by DeMoore to run the ball down. Only 10 seconds left on the shot clock. Bowie gets the screen from Bailey. Bowie will have to put it up. And off the glass and good for Bowie.
And what a tough shot by Bowie. I really expected he was going to go over the screen and shoot a 3, but he goes in for the tough 2.
Near steal there by Bailey. Near traveling there by Oliver, but the 2 points is there. Under 3 minutes to go in the first half. Here's Bailey. Turnaround shot is good. Over the hands of China Jones. Too hard off the glass. Ball knocked around and finally into Bailey's hands. Up the court it goes. Nice play up the court there for DeMoore.
And from up here, I did not expect that to be an alley-oop pass. But great thinking by the VC Tigers.
As the ball goes out of bounds, they'll call a foul on Tawan Bowie. That is his first, team's 8th. So shooting the 1-and-1 will be Gillis. So Gillis, William Gillis. I wonder if he goes by Bill. (42-26), Voorhees out in front. Bruins causes the turnover. Up the court it goes. Nice play there as Malik Morris for 2. Morris with his 3rd field goal. 6 points for Morris. And we're down to the 2-minute mark. And it's a 14-point Voorhees lead at 42-28, as we'll have a traveling violation called against Bowie.
And looking up from here, I did not tend to see a traveling by Bowie, but the ref saw another way and called the foul on the VC Tigers.
Oh yeah, well, you know, it doesn't matter what we see or what you see or what the coaches see or the players see. It matters what the referees see. And the referees see it that the Tigers will have possession. So that's another turnover. Tigers with the ball and a 14-point lead. Into the corner, Nuttry comes out of the corner. Here's Wyndham from the corner. 3-pointer, corner pocket. Wyndham, his 2nd 3-pointer of the afternoon, and it's a 45-28 lead. Bailey looking to run it. Wyndham wide open. Here we go. Yes, sir!
And just like that, the VC Tigers, I mean, they were in control of the game to start, but now they take a demanding control. with a minute
And
left.
another block. Wyndham saves it into the hands of Nuttry. Nuttry nearly stumbles. Out of the corner once again. Corner pocket. No.
But he gets his rebound though. Nice effort.
Counted and one.
I'll miss a three, but I'll get the and one instead.
Demore.
Way.
Nice play there for DeMonte Demore. And just like that, the Tigers has jumped out to a big lead, 50-28.
And I remember recalling it was 27-22
Yeah.
Tigers, and now they have put their defense caps on and only limit them to 7 points.
Now think about this, a 23-5 run. Excuse me, a 23-6 run. Because remember, as you mentioned, it was 27-22. And since then, it's now 51-28. So I checked that. It's actually been 24 points to Bruins 6 points. And the Bruins with that basket. Cook, his second field goal. VC Royal Court, and as you can see, Alex Brooks is Mr. VC. All right, we're gonna take a break and we'll come back, talk about the first half, and we'll get you set for the second half. Right now, Voorhees looking mighty good as they lead Piedmont 51-32. You're watching Tiger basketball right here on the VC Tiger Sports Network.
The 10th president of Morris College and graduate of Voorhees College, the 2019 Grand Marshal, Dr. Leroy Stager. Dr. Staggers earned a bachelor's degree from Voorhees College, and on last night, he was inducted into the Voorhees College Hall of Fame. Ladies and gentlemen, congratulations to the 2019 Grand Marshal, Dr. Leroy Stager.
Honoree Leonard Jefferson Priester, who gave $5,000. The CSRA Alumni Chapter, who gave $5,460.61. Senator Ron Sabb of the Sabb Law Group, who gave $5,600. The Voorhees College National Alumni Association, who gave $19,192.62. Let's give a round of applause to all of our 2018-2019 honor roll donors. Now we'll have greetings from the Voorhees College National Alumni Association President, Trustee David Miller.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Everybody having a good time? I tell you, I'm having such a good time, I've lost my voice already. On behalf of the National Alumni Association, we want to welcome everyone to homecoming. We want to welcome everyone to homecoming 2018. It's definitely a delight to see everyone play. We hope that you will continue to accompany by attending every year. So again, we bring you greetings to the National Alumni Association. In addition, the class of 1989 is celebrating its 30th reunion. Please stand. Class of 1989. Congratulations on your 30th year anniversary.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, for remarks, the distinguished 10th, 9th President of Voorhees College, Dr. W. Franklin Evans.
What's good, DC? Let me first start by saying, welcome home. There is no place like Voorhees. We are delighted that you are back on these wonderful grounds. Thank you for the support that you continue to give Voorhees College and the students. To alums that are in reunion, I know that the Deltas are here celebrating the 35th anniversary. We know there are classes of 1969 that are here, the class of 1970, 75, and all of that. Everybody, we're glad that you are back. Let me let you know that. I'm also delighted that I've got family and relatives that are here, and all the way from Georgia, I've got some of my classmates that decided to come and join us from Rennes High School, Georgia. We are so pleased that you're here and you're giving back to Voorhees College. This is the place where great things begin, and that if you believe in what our founder Elizabeth Evelyn Wright set out to do, you really can become any and everything your heart desires. So enjoy yourselves, make fun of it. Looking forward to seeing you later on this evening. Thank you for coming back. Please come to the floor for the class picture with the president. Thank you very much.
we're back here as we get ready for the second half, as the Tigers right now up 51-32 over the Piedmont Bruins. I'm Clarence Jones along with Derek Richmond. And in that first half, the Tigers really dominated, especially the late minutes of the first half, going on a 24-6 run. What else happened there in the first half that impressed you?
Well, with a strong commanding lead, the VC Tigers are racking up 11-6 at the half. DeMartha DeMore is leading the charge for the Tigers with 10 points and 5 rebounds. But one thing about the Bruins is that they're drawing fouls but not converting the line, shooting a low 20%. If they want to get back in this ball game, it starts at the free throw line.
Well, of course, for the Tigers, Alex Brooks has played well. Just about all of the Tigers played well, especially the bench players coming off the bench. That has been a big help on why the Tigers is out to such a big lead here at halftime. So coming up, we have the second half of our game between the Tigers and the Bruins of Piedmont University. So keep it right here on the VC Tiger Sports Network, and we'll be right for the second half.
There's no place like home.
Tigers.
All right, we get ready to start the second half. Tigers up 51-32 as they get under the way. Pierce with the shot and in and out. Diamond as he's blocked from behind there by China Jones. So we start off the second half as it looks like this for the Tigers. Adonis Bailey, Alex Brooks, Ashton Pierce, Jaden Diamond, who just put it in for 2, and Malik Timmons. So that is the opening 5 to start the second half for the Tigers. It's Spence. And Spence hits the 3. Spence is on the floor along with China Jones as Brooks puts it up, no good. Jacob Cooks, number 13, as well as number 4, Curtis Coleman Jr., and Tamar Glenn, the starting 5 for the Bruins to start off this second half, as we'll have a whistle.
The one thing I can point out is from the Bruins is that Spence most of every single ball that's gone up, he had to put the hand in the face. Seemed like they're attacking him early in the first half, but we'll see if they attack him in the second half as he knocks down that 3.
Timmons picks up his 3rd personal. Give it off, nice pass. Oh, and blowing right up front is China Jones. Bruins causing the turnover. Here's Glenn. Loses the ball, picked up by Brooks. Up the court it goes to Bailey, and Bailey puts it in for 2.
A nice way for Timmons to come from the back and steal the ball and lead to a fast break by Adonis Bailey.
55-35, and a block from behind by Pierce. Jones once again is blocked by Bailey. Bailey, 2 straight blocks. Here comes Brooks, kicks it out. Bailey will try his hand. Hits the 3-pointer from straight away. And Bailey is starting to pick up the pace here.
And not only does he pick up the space, he's a little smack.
Stolen by Pierce. Back up to Bailey. And that's a traveling violation.
And Bailey didn't really have time to say his feet, but unfortunately he's called with a traveling violation. And I know he would have been hyped. He would have got that fast break point.
Yeah. So instead, Bruins will have possession, down 58-35. Nice play, attacking the basket there for 2, Curtis Coleman Jr. And Curtis, who got off to a hot start in the first half, early on in the first half, has cooled down. That was his first points since early in the first half. Here's Bailey from just beyond the free throw line. Bruins now with the opportunity to cut in more into this Tiger lead, which is now standing at 58-37. That is an offensive foul. Good position there by Bailey. Weston is called for the charge. So that's his first, team's first of the second half. We're about a good 3 minutes and change into the second half. Bailey. And Bailey is held up, and he does not appreciate that at all.
And Adonis Bailey has been talking back all game, but Coach Mitchell cannot afford to lose Adonis Bailey in this game, even though they're up by a ton.
And Cook, as the Bears, as Bailey still drawing. So, and remember now, this is a good sign actually, because for those who've been in tune with us since the beginning, everybody knows that in each victory that the Tigers are able to pull out this season, there's always been a little scuffle here and there, a little dust up.
Cool. Well, I couldn't blame him if we didn't losing that big. Well, the anger look comes out and you get to talking. But one thing we do not want to see from what we saw last game is technical fouls from both teams.
Right. So the foul is on Cook. Pierce can't hit. Cook comes in with the rebound. A near steal there by Pierce, but instead challenging and counted in one over Bailey goes Coleman Jr. So Coleman Jr. starting to pick up the points pace a little bit. Bailey picks up his first, team's second, and the Tigers will send in 4 new players into the game. So you have Bryce Williams checking in, as well as DeMoore checking back in. Dominique Mixon also in there. And Terrell Wyndham. Those are the 4 new players for the Tigers. Bailey, the only Tiger who did not get subbed out. So a chant of defense from the Bruins bench. Meanwhile, for the Tigers bench, all they have to do is just execute and continue to execute. Mixon, bad, almost a turnover pass, but instead looked like a foul has been called against the Bruins.
That's his third, team's third.
So here's Bailey for 3, in and out. So back come the Bruins. Here's a shot and good for Weston. So Weston, his 3rd field goal, 6 points on the afternoon, and it's a 58-42 Tiger lead. Mixon in the lane, can't hit. Coming up with the rebound, Oliver. Bruins looking to push. Near and 1 for Coleman Jr., and I talked about it. Curtis Coleman Jr. was the quick points leader early on in the first half for the Bruins, and we didn't really hear from him since like the 13-minute mark of the first half. But now, here in the second half, he has reasserted himself back into the ball game. And he'll be at the line to shoot the free throw. And just as the Tigers got comfortable, at one point in time, it was a 51-32 lead. So it was a 19-point lead at halftime. And the Bruins trying to battle back, now only down by 14, 58-44.
And as I mentioned in recap, one thing the Bruins got to do is knock on the free throws because they've had opportunities, it's just unable to knock it down.
Timmons unable to hit and will go the other way. Bryce Williams picks up the foul. That is his first. Team's 4th. 15 minutes and 11 seconds remaining in the ball game. Tigers up over the Bruins here at Homecoming 2019. Shot and no good. So drawing the foul as Bryce picks up his 2nd personal. So back-to-back personal foul. So Ofume Boko will be at the line shooting. So Boko trying to close this lead down. And as you mentioned, yeah, they get into the lines, but the difference now between the first half and the second half, they're hitting their free throws.
Going 4-4 from the line to start this half. And just like that, it's a 12-point lead by the Tigers.
Brooks, and 1! Alex Brooks back into the scorer's column as the foul is called on Jacob Cook. And that is his 2nd, team's 4th. So Alex Brooks, Mr. VC, at the line shooting. We're just under the 15-minute mark of this second half, and no good. Tigers looking to go 4-1 as they cause the turnover in the backcourt.
Nice defensive presence by Tigers, way to force a turnover and not let the Bruins kind of cut back this lead by 11.
It's 60-46, Tigers on top. Here's Brooks. Kicks it out. This is Timmons. Timmons strong to the basket, and the 2 is there for Malik Timmons. Up the court, quickly it goes. Here's Cook. No good. Timmons is called for the foul. That is his 4th, team 6, and one more foul for Timmons, and he will call it a day.
And one thing about the Bruins, even though they're getting at the line, they're forcing VC to go through the rotation, because even though you do not make the free throws, you're drawing fouls, and that can really hurt VC later in this game.
62-47, Tigers on top, but Bruins trying to battle back here. Still plenty of time remaining to go in the ball game. Cooks makes good on the second shot. And right now, it is a 62-48 lead for the Tigers. Here's Diamond being guarded there by Boku, and a steal. Good play. Coleman, and he's blocked there by Pierce. Ball loose, still loose, and it's finally controlled by the Tigers. And this is Bowie. Here's Pierce in the corner. Pull! Nope. As Alex Brooks is pulling. Shot in the lane, no good. 2, 3 times. It's the charm for Bryce Williams.
One thing I've seen that be killing.
And a whistle and a timeout.
One thing I've seen from the Bruins is that they're not really being aggressive as the Voorhees Tigers on the rebounds. Voorhees Tigers are getting a lot of second chance points.
64-48 is our score with 13 minutes and 52 seconds to go in the game. And right now, the Tigers, maybe when we talk to Coach Mitchell on the post game, I think he'll feel a little bit more pleased about the effort here this evening because of the fact that they're causing some turnovers and they have made good decisions more than bad decisions here today. But of course, the little scuffle, you know, that's one thing. It seemed like when the Tigers get into a little scuffle with the opponent, they are 3-0 so far. When they haven't been in a scuffle or some type of on-court argument, they're 0-1.
3-0 with a demanding lead. Not that they're losing, not that losing terribly, but...
Oh yeah, no, the Bruins can get back into this game. Like I said, you have a lot of time left, but at the same time, the Tigers is making it rough for them to come back. So that's why I think Coach Mitchell will appreciate this effort better because they trying to keep the Bruins down. Was at a 2-3 zone defense, now man-to-man, as well have an offensive foul called against Kendall Oliver. So Oliver, that is his 3rd personal foul, team's 5th. And like I said, Tigers is making it a rough goal for the Bruins to try to get back in the game.
And they thrive off those turnovers.
Rice with the rebound. Pierce, lock and load. Can't go. Here come the Bruins. Ball loose. Picked up. Blocked there. Looked like Pierce and Bryce had a hand in that.
3 Tigers in a den to block that shot.
Pierce. No. But the ball gets back into his own hands. Oh, nice no-look. Bryce blows the dunk. Back up it goes. Count it and one. Oliver, the basketball gods wasn't good for the Tigers that go around.
Fortunate dunk. And that probably is the loudest I've heard the VC Tigers at home.
So the foul is called on Diamond. That is his third, and the team's seventh. But that's funny. Usually, if you watch basketball as long as I've watched basketball, it's always funny that when you have a great pass, only to get messed up, and then it goes back the other way, and it's usually an and one. And that's what happened here.
And once
nice
again,
play.
the Bruins are not converting at the line.
But they get another shot at it, though. Still in there by Diamond. Diamond, he doesn't have the numbers, but it doesn't matter to him. He'll take it anyway.
What a great move by Diamond. Able to get by that defense and get the easy deuce.
Back the other way, count it, and the foul.
And Coach Mitchell, this man gotta let them know that you're fouling too much and you're giving them opportunity to shoot 3 points.
Brooks.
But the real question is, can they convert those 3 points?
Yeah. Brooks picks up the foul. Give Boko the deuce. So here come the and one. Good on the connection for Boko, so he completes the three-point play. And the Bruins, look at here, they're battling back. They're down only by 13 at 66-53, showing a little light press in the backcourt. Diamond, Brooks, hard to the basket, and they'll call a goaltend. So Brooks will be credited for the deuce, as a goaltend was called on Spence.
Great call by the ref. Ball was going down and was not able to get there to block the shot.
68-53, coming up on 12 minutes remaining in the ball game. Here's Coleman, gives it up. A shot, about an 8-foot shot there by Weston. So Weston closing in on double figures here this afternoon for the Bruins. And it is 68-55, Tigers on top as we're coming up on 11 and a half minutes to go. Pierce, up and under move, can't hit. Nutterly keeps it alive for Pierce.
And like I said before, second chance points is killing the Bruins.
70-55, the lead back out to a 15-point lead for the Tigers. Here's Spence for three, way short. Nice touch off the rebound, and the two for Cook. So 2 points for Jacob Cook, and it is a 13-point Tiger lead at 70-57. Under 11 to go. Pierce for three. As I mentioned before, Pierce can light it up when he wants to.
He sure can.
And right now he's into double figures with 11 points. Here's a three-point way off as it hit high off the glass, but the Bruins will still have possession. Since it did not hit the rim, the shot clock will not reset. It is at 12 seconds remaining on the shot clock. 10 minutes and 24 seconds remaining in game time action. Spence underneath the basket. No good. Cook on with the follow. So Jacob Cook, he is now in double figures. And it is 73-59 Tigers. There's Nutry in the lane, and that's a traveling violation as he moved his pivot foot. Just under the 10-minute mark, 9:59 to be exact. And the Tigers looking to put the pressure on. Here's Glenn. Glenn being guarded by Bailey is out to Spence. Here's Coleman Jr. picks up his dribble. 5 seconds left on the shot clock. Shot in the lane is good for Weston. So Weston with those 2 points, now he's into double figures. So you have 3 players so far in the double figures for the Bruins. Straightaway three-pointer for Pierce. That is his second three-pointer of the half.
And Pierce looking like a dead-eye shooter out there.
I hate to sound like a broken record, but he can score when he wants to score. And it looks like he can also foul when he want to foul. And he pick up the foul. Pierce picks up the foul. Pierce picks up his second foul, team's ninth. Curtis Coleman Jr. will shoot 76-61. Tigers on top as Bailey and Alex Brooks will take a seat on the bench. Both of them have played well here this afternoon. Second shot goes in. Well, excuse me. That's the first shot that went in for Coleman. Coleman, one of the Bruins, in the double figures right now. So Coleman is in double figures with 12. Cook is also in the double figures with 11. And Weston sitting at 10 points for the Bruins. Those are the 3 Bruins with double figures. Here's Pierce, the hot hand here in the second half, unable to hit. Rebound, and the putback is no good, but Diamond draws the foul. Oliver picks up his 4th foul. So Oliver with that 4th foul as Diamond on to shoot. One more foul picked up by Oliver, and he will see the show from the bench.
Four fouls on Oliver.
Yeah, 4 fouls on Oliver. Kendall Oliver. He has 4 fouls.
Coach Howard cannot afford to lose Howard. I mean, correction, Oliver. Because he's been a key part of this comeback they're trying to make at VC.
The only Tiger in a foul trouble right now is Malik Timmons. He has 4 fouls. Nice pass underneath, and Glenn with the deuce. So now a 78-65 lead with 8 minutes to go in the second half. And as I mentioned, Bruins have plenty of time to come back here. Here's Diamond. Oh, no look pass inside. Can't hit was Demore, but here is Nuttree. Can't hit on the open layup as Demore, the ball gets knocked out of his hands, but a foul is called. So the foul call will be against Jacob Cook. That is his 3rd, team 7. So DeMonte Demore will try to go shoot for 2 more. Demore so far with 7 points, including that foul line shot. The lead is 15, 80-65. Tigers on top.
Voorhees.
And Voorhees, Coach Mitchell calls a quick 30-second timeout with 7 minutes and 43 seconds to go. Tigers up 80 to 65.
7 o'clock p.m. right here in this arena will be the All Creek Step Show.
Make sure you tune in next week, November the 12th, as we'll have Lady Tigers basketball, as they'll be back in action taking on Middle Georgia State. That's November the 12th, right here on the VC Tiger Sports YouTube page. All right, so now coming out of the timeout, although the Bruins are still trying to hang around there, but the Tigers, you got to be impressed by the fact that the Tigers are not letting them back all the way back into this ball game.
As I said before, Coach Mitchell probably said, remember Kaiser, and don't want to import this homecoming crowd.
7.5 to go. Long range three, and it's hit there by Coleman Jr. So Coleman Jr. keeping things alive for the Bruins. And right now, Bruins only down by 12. To the basket. That one was blocked there. Good block there by Cook. Back come the Bruins. Looking to start a run here to get back into this ball game. Here's Glenn. Glenn spots up for three and hits!
And just like that, they draw the lead to 9 points.
So
they cut the lead, correction.
So now the home crowd trying to get the Tigers back into this ball game, although they're up by 9, but at one point in time was up by at least 20 at one point. Losing the ball is DeMoore, and here come the Bruins.
And at that time, you had to give the ball up if you're not getting a shot.
Lighting it up from the corner for three is Curtis Coleman Jr.
And we have a tight game, folks. 73-80, your BC Tigers leading.
But just like in all basketball games, you know you're going to have a big run somewhere. Voorhees had their big run late in the first half, and right now the Bruins, and they're in the midst of having a run for themselves.
One person I need to ask Coach Mitchell about is their player, Van Johnson, not playing tonight.
Yes, Van Johnson, a.k.a. the Tasmanian Devil, is not in uniform. Well, is not in gear tonight. But I think he was one of the people that was kind of nursing a little injury there in the last game. But I didn't see too much of a limp, so unless it's something else, then. But he is a scratch for this afternoon. That's why you didn't hear me talk about Van at all. He was a scratch. A late scratch at that. 6 minutes, 1 second remaining in the second half. Voorhees trying to hold on to a 7-point lead, which at one point in time, as I mentioned, the halftime score was 51-32. Voorhees was up by 19 points. As right now we have a stoppage in action as they are checking the scorers table to get a few official scorings right, to make sure everything is on the up and up. So they checking the scorebook. That's exactly what's going on as far as with the players. So I wonder, are they checking for Piedmont or are they checking Voorhees? It seemed like they checking Piedmont, as right now the Piedmont coach talking with the referee. Piedmont head coach Josh Howard. And Howard still young in his tenure as the head coach for Piedmont. I guess everything is on the up and up, so let's play some basketball. So at the line shooting will be Wyndham, one in the bonus. Wyndham with that shot, he is now into double figures with 10 points. 9 out of those 10 points came from behind the three-point arc. Mixon, yep. So Mixon with the deuce, and a timeout taken by Voorhees.
And if you're Coach Howard, what are you telling your boys right now with 5 minutes left in the game?
Well, number one, with the exact time, 5 minutes and 56 seconds to go, so you still have nearly 6 minutes of basketball to be played. And look, you're only down by 10. And that's a big accomplishment from given what the deficit was at late in the first half and then at halftime. So you was down at 19, 20 points at one point in time. But now only being down by 10, and you have well over 5 minutes remaining in the ball game. All you gotta do is just keep fighting, keep plugging away. And as you mentioned, gotta hit the free throws, because you know right now with 19 fouls for Voorhees and 18 fouls for Piedmont, you know in about the next couple of minutes, I think the way how this game is going, both teams is going to be shooting the double bonus pretty soon here. And it's going to come down to who hits the free throws and who does not make the critical turnovers. Because right now, that is exactly what the Bruins need, is turnovers to get extra offensive possession. Meanwhile, for the Tigers, you just play a game. Just play a game, and you can walk out of here with your 4th victory in the first 5 games.
Not only play your game, execute the game plan.
Out of the timeout, man-to-man defense for the Tigers as they are following their assignments all around the gym. And that's a traveling violation called against Glenn.
And everyone from the crowd could see that was a traveling. Unluckily, he made the shot. And luckily for the Tigers men.
5:38 to go, 5:38 to go left in this game. Homecoming 2019. It's great to see the stands all packed here this afternoon, isn't it?
It's great to see it, but they're not as loud as they can be.
Well, I'm pretty sure pretty good monstrous plays for the Tigers, I guess, will get the crowd back into the ball game.
Yeah, a couple of dunks will definitely get the crowd back into the mix.
Bailey can't hit, but he draws the foul. And that's one thing, again, for the Tigers, drawing the foul, but hitting your free throws will keep the Bruin attack at bay. So Kendall Oliver is called for his 5th foul, and he is done for the afternoon.
So very unfortunate for Coach Howard. I know that's one of their key players.
Oh, well, excuse me. It wasn't Oliver. It was actually Cook. Cook also had 4 fouls as well, so he is called for the foul. So pardon me, but Oliver still has 4 fouls, so he's still in foul trouble. Bailey hits the first. (84-73). Second shot is missed. So here come the Bruins, down 84-73. Boko, a lot of dribbles. Nice pass inside for Curtis Coleman Jr. And Coleman Jr., the leading scorer for the Bruins here this afternoon.
And not to mention, nice way to keep the ball, not give VC Tigers an opportunity to get a fast break, because Boko looked like he was going to turn over the ball, but luckily he got the turnovers.
Diamond, that was a way off shot. Bruins with a chance to cut in on the lead, and we have a foul. Excuse me. Actually, stepping out of bounds was Glenn. So Glenn stepped out of bounds on the baseline, thus the turnover, and the possession will go to the Tigers. 4.5 to go in this game. Make sure you stay with us as we will have the post-game show featuring an interview with the men's basketball head coach, Coach Derek Mitchell. So stay with us. Here's Pierce, gives it off. Alex Brooks can't hit. Ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by the Bruins. Just want to send a simple shout out to those of you watching us on VC Tiger Sports YouTube page. Thank you for all your comments. We appreciate you, and keep the comments coming. And also a special hello to those Bruins fans following their team on the VC Tiger Sports page. As the basket is good for Mixon. So Mixon, his second field goal, 4 points on the afternoon, and is back out to an 11-point Tiger lead at 86-75. Coming up on 3.5 minutes to go in the game. Shot, no good. Mixon.
A nice defensive effort by Alex Brooks, making it very tough to get that shot off.
Bowie thought about the three. Timmons wasn't looking for the ball, but Timmons pick up his dribble. Mixon. Only 5 seconds left on the shot clock. Brooks got to do something with it. He does. Pull. No. Timmons. So Timmons with another basket. Back up the court quickly and unable to hit is Coleman Jr. Tigers can really try to stretch this lead out now. Trying to hit the 90-point mark for the 3rd time this season. They go inside to Pierce. Pierce. Only 5 seconds left on the shot clock. Timmons driving down the lane, puts it up and in. So Timmons, 4 of the last 6 Tiger points coming off of Timmons. Here's Spence. That looked like that was altered just a little bit there by the Tigers, whether it was Pierce or Brooks. Pierce has tried his hand at a 3, in and out. Down the lane and off of the leg of Oliver, and a good defensive play for Pierce.
Tremendous defensive play by Pierce, and not to mention he's ranked 6th in total steals per game.
I just have to give my partner a shout out while we have this timeout, as Piedmont calls for the timeout, 1:56 remaining, and Tigers on top 90-85. Clarence Jones along with Derek Richmond.
75.
Oh, excuse me, 75, excuse me, 90-75. But I have to give you a shout out because you are playing with the serious case of the hiccups this afternoon.
Thank you, Clarence.
And you started this hiccup frenzy right before we went on the air. So I got to give you props for keeping everything straight. So looking at the stat book right now, Tigers very good as far as points distribution. 10 Tigers has scored at least 2 points in this ball game. So that's some nice points distribution, because all 5 starters have scored, a couple of them in double figures. But again, the play off the bench for the Tigers have been the key here, not to mention the defensive pressure, once again, is the reason why Tigers leading 90-75 with 1:56 to go in this homecoming edition. Once again, stay with us. We will have the post-game show. We'll have a wrap-up of the men's game as we welcome back everybody, all alumni and friends back here on the campus for Homecoming 2019. And for those alumni and friends who could not make it here, we are glad that you're spending the afternoon online with us. Bailey steps out of bounds. And they're called a double dribble. So it doesn't matter. Either way, double dribble, and plus your foot was out of bounds. So
one thing, if I'm Coach Mitchell, I'm telling my man, hold on to the ball. Don't force a shot. At least till like 10 seconds left on the shot clock.
Both teams with 19 fouls, and the foul is called on the three-point attempt. So Tamir Glenn with the opportunity with 3 free throws coming up, as Malik Timmons will call it an afternoon. But Malik leaves scoring double figures, and he's close to a double-double, although I don't have the stats on the rebounds. But if he's not at a double-double, he's pretty darn close to a double-double this afternoon. Glenn hits the first of 3 free throws. A minute 20 to go. Tigers up 90 to 78. So all 3 free throws goes in for Glenn. They show a little backcourt press. Mixon able to get across the timeline. Brooks, as he loses the ball and into the hands of Spence. 1 minute remaining in the ball game. Here's a three-pointer out of the corner, no good. Mixon, Sky highs for the rebound.
And as much as he praised the VC Tigers, one thing I did not see tonight, actually, this afternoon, is force the Bruins to a 10-second half-court turnover. Because, not gonna lie, every single game, the VC Tigers have forced their opponents to 10 seconds.
Well, it looks like we didn't need it today, as we're at the 30-second mark, 5 seconds left on the shot clock. Pierce is blocked, but he's able to get his own basket, as Pierce will have a great afternoon as the homecoming crowd begins to leave off the court. Oliver puts it in. Oliver with 8 points. Mixon, I thought they would dribble it out, but it looks like they still playing hard. But that will do it. Final score, Voorhees 92. The Piedmont International University Bruins 80. So in all, a good game for the Tigers as they win it here by 12. 1 point of time being up by 19, but able to close it out strong with a good victory. So the Tigers improved their record to 4-1. Meanwhile, the Piedmont Bruins will fall to a record of 0-1. So a good victory here this afternoon for the Tigers. Your thoughts on this game that we just watched?
Well, I'm glad Coach Mitchell and his man did not let, even though the Bruins were kind of close to trying to draw a comeback, Coach Mitchell and his man denied that and came out here with the victory, winning 12 points. And one thing about the Bruins, that free throws killed them, and nothing is second chance points because the VC Tigers were very aggressive and quick to grab the rebounds.
92-80, our final score once again, as the Tigers with an impressive homecoming victory over Piedmont And as I mentioned, on this 5-game homestand, they went 4-1. They could have gone 5-0, and they would have had the 100th victory for Coach Derek Mitchell. But instead, Coach Mitchell will stand at 99 career victories as the Voorhees Tigers head coach, with the opportunity to get victory number 100, but that victory number 100 will have to come on the road, as the next several games will be on the road, starting with Middle Georgia State on the 14th. And then they have a November the 18th game against Allen University. That should be a hot one up there in Columbia. But the next time the Tigers will be in the Tigers Den will be on December the 4th against Middle Georgia State University. All right, once again, our final score, 92-80. We will have Coach Mitchell and his post-game comments coming up, and plus a complete wrap-up here from the gym. So we'll be right back for the post-game show. You're watching Tiger Basketball on VC Tiger Sports YouTube page. All right, welcome back here to the post-game show as the Tigers able to come away with a 92-80 victory over the Piedmont Bruins here as the Tigers improve their record to 4-1 on this 5-game homestand. I'm Clarence Jones as we getting ready for our interview with the head ball coach for the men's Tigers, Coach Derek Mitchell, as he is one win away from career win number 100 as the head coach for the Tigers. In this game, you have to look at, first off, it was a great game all around for the Tigers. I believe once Coach Mitchell comes up here, I think he's going to have some much better words than what he had the other day, although it was a victory, but he was not pleased with the effort. But I'm pretty sure, just for myself and for Derek and for everybody that was watching, the Tigers did put on a great effort. At one point in time, they were up 51-32 at halftime, able to hold on for a 12-point victory, even in the midst of Bruins trying to get back into this ball game. At one point in time, the lead was cut down to 11 points. But the Tigers never gave them an inch, and they never got closer than 11 points, winning by 12 points this afternoon. And if you also want to look at some of the stats here, you had 4 players for the Tigers in double figures leading the way, Ashton Pierce as well as Malik Timmons, although Timmons did foul out, but he still led the way. He had about a good 13 points. Pierce having 16 points. And as I mentioned early on in the broadcast, although Pierce not necessarily known as a big-time scorer, but he will score when he has to score. And he did score enough to this 92-80 win over Piedmont. Of course, we're waiting on the coach to come out, as of course he is addressing his team right now on a good homecoming effort here in 2019. And of course, if you are just joining us, the Lady Tigers lost their game earlier this afternoon against Clinton College, and now they've lost 2 games in a row this past week. Meanwhile, for the Tigers, 4-1 on the season, so for the most part, a very successful homestand as they started the season with 5 home games here, but now they will be on the road for almost the next month, and we will not see them back here at the Tigers Den until early December against Middle Georgia State. So it's going to be one heck of a road trip for the Tigers, but it is good to start off with some home cooking, 5 games in a row, going 4-1. But if it wasn't for that blemish against Ave Maria this time last week, then we would have been talking about Coach Mitchell and his 100th victory here at the Tigers Den. And it would have been something special in front of the homecoming crowd. But instead, we'll take the victory and we'll take the 4-1 record on the road for the next several games before we head back here on December the 4th. That will be the next home game. So hopefully you can tune in right here on our YouTube page, VC Tiger Sports. Make sure you tune in, and for those who want to subscribe, please subscribe, and also comment on our broadcast, how we're doing, do you like it? Also, I have to give a shout out to the students here at VC, the students behind the camera, making great work behind the camera. Jalen Snyder, always on the main camera. Acacia Donaldson, thank you so very much. We also have Lauren as well as Denise as well. Thank you so very much for doing your thing behind the camera, and everybody for doing their thing. Of course, Curtis Sumner as well, doing a wonderful job, and also all of the VC Tiger Sports and supporters. Thank you so very much for tuning in. But again, please subscribe. Please subscribe to VC Tiger Sports, all right? So right now, as I'm looking down on the court, Coach Derek Mitchell, he is making his way up here into the broadcast booth. So we will hear from the victorious coach, Coach Derek Mitchell, on his 99th career victory as the Tigers coach. Yes, who's counting, huh? Thank you for joining me here. Thank you so very much. Of course, Good effort here today, but I want to, of course, as always, want to get your thoughts about this game.
Man, C minus. I hope I'm not, tuning off fans from that.
Well, let me ask you this though:
Yeah.
a better performance than what we had the last time you was up here?
I think overall maybe, but I like I told them, I'm not even sure if it's not like me. We've got to do something where we're congruent. It's cohesive. It just looks like a lot of loose parts. Like you got a good play here and a good play there, and then you give up the same thing, and then you get a good play here. So we're trying to put together 40 minutes, but I didn't really blame them today. It's a lot going on, homecomings, all that. So to get out here with a win is good. Hats off to Coach Howard. He's a legend, really good guy. But, yeah, I thought we played okay, C-minus basketball. But that's okay at this time of the year. So we can keep getting wins with C-minus basketball, I'll take them. But I don't think when we hit the road we'll be able to do that.
Right. Now, getting into this game, of course, at one point we was up 51 to 32 at halftime. But what I did remind the viewers out there, we had a 20-point lead against Kaiser. But the thing about it is, the Tigers, I would say, once the Bruins were starting to get back into the ball game, because in the game of basketball, somebody was always going to have some type of runs. Yes, but I was impressed by the fact that the Tigers did not let them get back into the game. What I mean by that, they didn't come back and tie.
No. Thank God. I'd probably be damp if they had tied it. But no, we kind of talked about that when I called a timeout. Kids made timely plays, and I've been trying to play our newer players, our freshmen. They've got to get acclimated and get ready for what's on that road. Right. And I don't know how to do it without playing them. So we're taking a lot of lumps, and and things are going wrong, but the experience is the only way. And they're playing well in practice, but it's a different thing when people are watching you and the lights are on. So just trying to play a lot of people. We may narrow it down a bit, but that's what we do here. We play everybody. We play a lot of kids. We're only as good as our weakest guy. I tell them that all the time. So I expect everybody to be ready to go. But we're ready.
Now talk about the bench play, because I know it's going to be very important as we move on into the season that the bench has to come out and play. So the bench played solid performances here and there. They came off the bench, showed some energy. Talk about some of the bench players and how important it will be for the Tigers for success this season.
Man, it's going to be extremely important. Our team is built on the collection of characters, not just one or two guys. So the bench and the guys after that, like I said, I go 11, 12 deep, but they all need to be ready to play because we all need to have a good night. And I just think that's what's going on. Like right now, some of them don't necessarily know their roles, but even with that being said, they've got to play good. Even you got to be you got to master the role that you're given. So that's why I said, again, a lot of them are reluctant to do it because they've never had been asked to do that. But if we want to be winning and be successful and get another ring, then they're going to have to buy into what we're doing.
Now getting into the players individually here this afternoon, I was impressed by Ashton Bailey because I did mention on the air that he may not be the biggest of scorers, but he will score when he has to score. So he did score today, close to 20 points there, but it's other areas that really I'm impressed with as far as defensive-wise, trying to cause turnovers there. Talk about your guard play here, and especially, Alex Brooks and Bailey and everybody else.
Pierce, I think you're talking about.
Yeah, Pierce, I'm sorry.
You're okay. Ashton's a senior. He's been here, sat out last year from some back problems, kind of getting healthy. He's kind of getting his legs back, but he's a very good ball player. He's ambidextrous. He can use both hands really well. But smart, cerebral, you know what I mean? Alex, we're just trying to get him going. I think Alex is still trying to, for lack of a better word, shoot himself out of a slump. Right. And I don't mind it, but also in the midst of that, he's got to be confident in his role and take over. And that's not necessarily points, but just lead us. You know what I mean? He's been here before. Alex has been here for 4 years. He's won a lot of games with me. So that's why I said again, they're playing well, but for us again to win on that road, they got to take it to another level.
Now, with the homecoming behind us now and the first part of the schedule with the first 5 games, now it's important road trips, of course, put it in there with Allen, a trip to Allen, and we have a few road trips coming up there, sir. So how are you going to take it with this team with these important road games coming up?
We're going to take them one at a time. I don't want to put too much pressure on them and start counting what we must-haves or things like that. This is a young team, but playing on the road is important, and we played into March the last 2 years here, and because we've been able to do that because we won on the road. So I'm excited to go, but I'm also excited to see how they perform on the road. You know, we've had 5 home games in a row, and normally we're gone and come back and play home games. So I'm excited to see how they perform. We normally play better on the road because a lot of distractions are gone. They're kind of there, you know, gelling together. But I'm anxious to see. We'll find out next Thursday when we go to Middle Georgia.
Oh yeah, that should be a good game. So, but we will not see you until December the 4th against Middle Georgia. So this is going to be a long break. So I think coming up on December the 4th, we should have like a secondary homecoming just for the Tigers, just for being on the road for that long. But anyway, any final words for the fans out there watching us?
No. Always thank you to you guys, the people behind the camera. Thank you for putting on this broadcast. We really appreciate it. My team appreciates it. The school appreciates it. Thank you all for what you're doing.
Well, we appreciate you, and thank you for spending a few time. 99 wins down, one more win. He'll get career win with number 100 as the head coach for Voorhees Tigers. And that will do it for us. Thank you so very much for tuning in. I'm Clarence Jones. We will talk to you on November the 12th as the Lady Tigers will take the court once again. Thank you so very much, and happy homecoming 2019. So long, everybody.
There's no place like home.